As screwworm cases continue to spread, there's a lot of finger pointing about how it got here and whether the Trump administration has hindered the response.
Hey, KVUE's Daniel Perot is here with more on all of this blame game. Daniel?
Ashley, it tweeted from Washington, D.C. to Texas. Democrats and Republicans are playing the blame game over why and how screwworms made it to the American soil in Texas. Republicans blame immigrants who crossed into the United States illegally. Meantime, Democrats have been quick to blame the Trump administration. As a flesh-eating parasite, the New World screwworm spreads, the Trump administration pointing the finger at former President Joe Biden.
This does trace back to the last administration and the movement of millions of people and their animals.
The parasitic fly was eliminated in the 1960s, but Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says it's back now because of the Biden administration's lax immigration policies.
It is 100% the reason, and no real effort to push it back and to keep it out.
But Democrats say not so fast. In 2024, the USDA under former President Biden closed southern ports of entry to live cattle imports to prevent the spread. In February 2025, the Trump administration reversed that decision amid protests from the cattle industry before closing the ports again 3 months later.
There's been some changes in land usage in Panama that kind of played a little bit of a role in this.
Sonia Schweiger, an entomologist at Texas A&M University, says the spread over the past few years from South America was propelled by people moving infected animals.
Once you get active flies in an area, they then begin to transmit on their own.
Politicians on both sides of the aisle say the federal government isn't acting fast enough, in part because of cuts made by the Trump administration, including to programs dedicated to monitoring the screwworm and employees at the USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, which protects agricultural health and manages wildlife damage. During a hearing this week, Democratic U.S. Senator from Minnesota Amy Klobuchar saying the department
has lost 25% of its staff, including more than 300 employees in veterinary services alone.
Rollins says staffing reductions haven't hurt the response, adding in the last year and a half, the number of full-time staff devoted to the screwworm has increased from 10 to 120.
The people that are back and saying that DOJ has basically caused this could not be further from the truth.
Rollins defending how the feds prepared, saying they slowed the advance of the pests to buy more time and ready a full-scale response.
We've actually been able to scale up much harder than anybody else to get ready for this.
As the debate over how we got here continues, experts say what happens next matters more because eradicating the pests may take years.
It's not a reason to panic. Again, we're all here to help each other, and we want to report any incidences that we have.
Experts say that sterile flies are likely the best way to eradicate the problem, but the problem is not enough of them are being produced. The federal facility under construction in Edinburgh to create more sterile flies won't be operating at full capacity until next year at least. Right now, sterile flies come from one producer in Panama, but that facility is maxed out at 100 million flies per week. Another facility in Mexico is expected to come online sometime in the next few weeks. In the studio, Daniel Perot, KVUE News.